You're listening to I'm Not Being Funny, but the podcast with me, Lee.
And me, Annie.
Morning, folks. We've done our mini episode this week a little bit different. So have a listen, see what you think, let us know. Lee's not introducing this week's show, it's just me. So I'm keeping it short and sweet. Enjoy.
Right, so going over that answer again. Why did we start it?
Well, the real reason that we started it was we were sat watching some of the stuff on TV because, I mean, we've watched a lot of shit. And it's more a case of, like, we're kind of like the unspoken side of it because you always see, like, one side.
You always see the same perspective.
Yeah, people, like, you can look on there for people reading out stories and they all give the same sort of response because they want to be liked. They want people to be like, oh, I understand where you're coming from with that. I know how you feel. But we've sat and watched stuff like, no, fucking no, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
and I know
this isn't like on TV. We're on about like
YouTube,
the world of the internet.
Yeah. Whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. We're like, I wanted to put out a perspective because me and you are completely different.
Polar opposites, you nice, I'm not.
Exactly. I try and sugarcoat things, but you know.
I ain't polishing no turds for me, fucker.
You know very well, though, that sometimes something gets under my skin and I properly rant about it. Mm-hmm. It's just something that happens, but there's too many people out there that are doing it just for likes.
There's too many people out there that are just trying to get what used to be called Facebook famous. Because they want to be out there, they want everyone to like them and be nice and be lovely, and the world should be made of bloody rainbows and fucking kittens, and it's not.
I don't know, I think if rainbows were fucking kittens, I'd definitely get a lot of views.
Yeah, it would. And that would show these lovely folk out there that the world ain't that nice.
No. But the thing is, I wanted to do it so that, like, people can hear our thoughts and, like, possibly their unspoken thoughts as well. Where they look at stuff like, nah, I don't really want to say anything. And there's me and you sat here going.
We've listened to podcasts in the past. We've had a couple of podcasts we quite like.
Yes, we have.
And one of the podcasts, the one that we started, it started us listening to podcasts, was a couple.
It was?
There was a couple in the Northeast that were doing a podcast. And we used to join in. It would be like all four of us were having a chat.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we want from the people that listen to this as well.
Yeah. Their podcast was fun. It was funny. And honestly, they're worth everything they got from theirs because it's a whole new league. And we're not trying to follow them. We are another couple that do podcasts, but we don't want to be funny. We want our podcast to be entertaining, and there might be bits of it that's funny. There might be parts of it where we're laughing, and we hope that people are listening and laughing, and it's making them smile, because they might not have smiled all day, they might not have smiled all week.
Yeah.
Fuck it, might not have smiled all year. Might have had a really shitty time.
There might be someone sat there going, oh, God, this dickhead again. He's not funny. He thinks he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, other than you.
Yeah. We all know how that feels. We've all heard you talking.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about stuff people don't want to talk about.
Yeah, and to, like, try and help people and make them laugh. Mm-hmm. Or smile, or just make them think,
Yeah, make them think a different way. Because if they're watching all these things that we've looked at and we've sat and watched, and it's like, it's a bit too fake for me. And it could be in someone's mind that, like, maybe this isn't real. And then when they hear our voices coming over their speakers saying, yeah, fuck it, that's not right. They might think, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it because I thought I was being a dick.
Yeah, but that's where the idea for the entire podcast came from, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
But I mean, we sit there and we slate things.
Yep.
But there's also stuff that we're like, well, actually, yeah, I completely agree with you on that. But that's the thing, it starts a conversation. I mean, how many nights have we been sat in and we've not said a word to each other, and then something comes up on the TV and we both go, huh? What the fuck is that?
9 times out of 10 it's because I'm sat here watching the telly and I've got YouTube on with something random on. I'm on my phone playing a game, and then all of a sudden you playing your game on the Xbox, whatever you're doing, and excuse me, all of a sudden something stupid gets said on YouTube, and I'm sat here, I'm like, what the fuck was that? How are human beings that idiotic? And then we'll start agreeing on how stupid it was, or you'll explain to me how it wasn't stupid at all.
Yeah.
And that's how we work.
It is. But also, something that really, really, really gets to me is Americans that can't pronounce English towns.
I know.
Or how 90% of America is actually named after British places and they butcher the fucking wording of it.
What do you mean, like Birmingham?
I love that. It's just like us saying Alabama.
Yeah, it really is. But like the YouTubers we've just been watching where
They couldn't say Worcester.
she couldn't say Worcester and he's laughing at her because he knows it's Worcester.
Yeah. Worcester? They come over here and say Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah,
I mean, even I struggle saying that. It's called Liam Perrins for a reason.
yeah, it is. But anyway, right. So the next question, we came up with some questions before we decided to stick mics on us, test out the mics and answer the questions.
Kind of interview each other.
Yeah. So it's your turn for the next question, but I'm reading down what I wrote.
Where did the idea for Minisodes come from?
Ooh. Well, partly because I found a story on Reddit, which I said when I did this mini episode, that turned into a mini episode because it was too long. It's too long to fit in the actual week's episode of the podcast. But what we decided from that one story is we wanted to do mini episodes because we want that little bite-size look into a particular subject. But only a small look. We only ever want to do things that are like, generally they're quite trivial. Something that'll give you that 20 minutes or so of a laugh in the week.
When you're stuck on a bus
Yeah, or stuck at the bus stop.
or traffic.
Or in a bus that's broken down.
We don't have a lot of faith in public transport, really, do we?
No, we haven't had a car long enough to have forgotten how bad public transport is.
That's very true.
But that was why I think we came up with the mini episodes. It mainly came from a story that was too long to fit in.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're going to have to do this as like a standalone because...
No, yeah, because we try and get like the podcast somewhere between about 45 minutes and just over an hour.
Yeah.
Because then that way, one, we're not bored. Two, it doesn't take a shit ton of editing. Three, the people listening to us don't get bored of my voice.
True. Especially that fucking phone voice.
Look, I haven't done the phone voice since, have I?
No, because you know I'm going to start throwing things at you if you do.
And
Took us 2 days to stop you from doing that phone voice.
There's no proof because I deleted the recordings.
Which is a shame because I would have put them out as bloopers reels.
The amount of edits that I've had to do, we could put together like a week's worth.
Of our children's names said by me.
Yeah. Or you losing where you are reading.
Yeah, and I just freeze and I'm there for ages reading it all again. I'm like, I'm here. No, I'm not. I'm here. I'm here. Definitely here.
And I'm sat there drinking my tea.
Yeah, getting very bored. The specials. We've released 2 specials now, haven't we?
We have. And the specials came about because they're subjects or areas that we can waffle on about for hours.
Mm-hmm. They can be about anything as well.
Yeah.
They can be about things that no one wants to talk about because we've got a couple of them coming up.
We do. And we've got, I think we've got 3 or 4 people joining us on a couple of them as well, haven't we?
We have. We've got one very important special episode
We do.
that is about mental health for men.
Yes.
And then we've got the pets one that we still haven't done, but we really need to because we've got some odd pets.
Yep. Well, we've also got one that's living with a chronic illness. Which,
And how that affects families.
for the people who don't know, I am a stay-at-home carer for Annie.
Yeah, life's that bad. I've got a carer.
So you'll get both sides of the coin on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is probably going to run on for a while because 2 people that I know, apart from you, do actually suffer with a chronic illness. And I'm going to have them both on to explain
how it affects them and their life and their illness.
Basically, I'm going to get them to explain their illness, their day-to-day, what they can do, what they can't do anymore, and what they've found out is either a lot more difficult or a lot easier. And the lot easier one is something that it's not a question that people ask people who they're classed as disabled.
Mm.
And it's something that I do want to ask because it's not something that they're going to be expecting.
Mm-hmm. It's going to catch people like at the side blow, isn't it?
Yes.
They're being hit by a truck again.
But yeah, that special's probably going to come in 2, maybe 3 parts.
Yeah, it's probably going to come in one big episode where like we talk about our life and how our life's changed as a family.
Yeah.
And then we're probably going to do 2 little mini episodes with the other people, aren't we?
I personally think that they're going to be full episodes. It's going to be like part 1, 2, possibly 3. But we'll see. Anyway.
That's something we've got to organise anyway.
Yeah, that's something that we're waffling on about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do some very, very shameless self-promotion here.
Oh, here we go again. That's what the socials are for, you know.
Thank you. Come and find us. We're on TikTok at INBFB _ the podcast. We're on Instagram at INBFB.the.podcast. We're on Facebook at INBFB _ the podcast.
It's the same name, just in different social media platforms.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got an email address, which is inbfbpodcast@hotmail.com.
I thought it was outlook.com.
Outlook's a businessy one.
You can get in touch with us on those social stuff. Probably easier that way, isn't it?
A lot easier. Also, a little fact and figures thing for you. We've had TikTok for around about 6 weeks now. And we're up to, I think it's about 20,000 views we've had.
Yeah.
So if
you've
are...
seen our videos and you're listening to this and you've seen our TikToks,
give us a like.
Give us a like and give us a share. Share us on other social media as well.
Yeah, I mean...
We're not being dicks. We don't get paid for this.
No.
Won't be able to live if we did.
No.
We'd have to live on benefits.
Unfortunately. But that's life.
So we don't do this for money, but we do this so that people out there can have somewhere that they come once a week. They follow us online so they see on our socials when something new is being put out there.
Yeah.
And they can come and they can have a listen. And they can have human contact that if they're living with a chronic illness and they don't see people every day, they have someone who's coming into the house for an hour or a 20-minute mini episode. And it's people. It's that human voice.
And it's a couple of people that sound...
We sound normal.
Yeah.
We don't sound like we're off the telly, because we're not.
No, we don't put a voice on anymore.
Absolutely not. I've beaten it out of them.
If anyone is wondering, she doesn't.
No.
She could quite easily knock me the fuck out, but she doesn't because I make her tea.
That's not the only reason. I'm not actually that violent anymore.
But I do know something. I'm not sure if I've told you this one or not.
No, God.
We're not just listened to in the UK.
You've been telling me for ages that we're not just listened to in the UK.
We've got people who listen in France.
We have.
So if you are French, bonjour.
Hi.
And we've also got people over in America that listen to us.
We do, which is good to know because the topics we talk about them from like a British perspective because that's where we are.
Yeah.
We'll tell you a bit about the part of the country we live in that's not London.
Yeah.
But the international topics, the topics for people around the world. You could be listening in Australia and you could be a bloke sat there in the arse end of nowhere on your own, but you still have mental health.
Sat there hunting opal.
Yeah? But you've still got a brain. You have thoughts, you have feelings. And that is the point of us talking about random shit.
Yeah. And that's,
because some of that random shit we talk about is actually like, it's stuff that's happened to us.
yeah.
The further along we get, the more you're going to get to know of the crappy stuff that's happened to us.
But also some of the amazing things.
Yeah.
And the damn right stupid things that happen.
Because we talk about real life, real things. We're not told what to say. We don't have a script.
We have bullet points.
Yeah, which we say. We'll tell you anytime. We both have a book, a notepad, and we write our ideas down for episodes. We'll try and put it into some sort of order.
Just so it sounds more fluid and it's more...
It keeps moving in the right direction.
Instead of us jumping from one to another and realising, oh, hang on, I forgot to say something about that.
And going back and forward and in every direction, we try and just have one train of thought going through it.
Yeah, which for me is really difficult.
It is. Because
being in my head's like being on LSD while looking at a fucking kaleidoscope, looking through one of them while you're on acid. That's like being in my head. But going back to it, what you were saying, it leads on to what we're wanting to do with this podcast.
It does.
Because where
we want to take it. We came up with these questions and then I said to Lee, right, we'll write down the questions and we'll both come up with our own answers. And that's what we're trying to do. Now we're just recording ourselves answering these questions that we've come up with for ourselves.
Yeah.
And our answers, they're both along the same sort of lines because we both agree on what we want the podcast to do.
Yeah.
But at home, and when we're chatting, we'll be chatting with my brother and my friend, who's the mother of my nephews. We'll be chatting with Lee's friend, who's already been on the podcast.
Rossi.
We'll be chatting with different people and we'll tell them how we want it to go, where we want to take it, and why these people should be on it.
Yeah.
Why you should come and have a chat with us. Why it'll be something fitting.
The thing is, for me as well, we just want to get everybody heard.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everyone's going to agree on everything. Because if we did, the world would be boring. It would be like that Simpsons episode where all of them in Bart and Lisa's school are all dressed in complete grey and they just walk about like mindless drones.
Mm.
We don't work at Amazon, so we don't need to worry about being a mindless drone. And all I hope is that at some point we either help somebody or make someone laugh.
Yeah. But I take that a little step further and say that's someone we don't know.
Yeah.
We have chats with people who've listened to the podcast. We hear what they have to say. They've said about the sound quality.
Yeah.
They've said about conversations that we've had. They've said that apparently I've named our children in the episodes that have gone out. It was fucking shocking.
It's going to happen.
They need to hear me when we're recording them.
I'd say we'd do an uncut one week, but
we can't. It'd be too long.
It would. Try and condense it down to under an hour. Be sat there.
That would just be me growling at myself and naming the child again.
Well, that's it. We don't hide who we are.
We don't, because we're normal people.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people that see us on the school run. They're like, "Is that?" It's like, yes, that's us. Hello.
Yeah, because I think at the minute, most of our social media attention's probably kind of local. Because the people that we follow, a lot of the people I follow on TikTok, are local.
Mine aren't. Mine are all over the place.
But I think some of it is going to be like
Yeah.
sort of around here.
Hmm?
That's
The
why I
thing
want
is-
people to share it. I don't want us to get famous. I mean, look at our characters. That looks fuck all like me. I'm a hell of a lot fatter than her.
And my forehead's not quite that big.
Or shiny.
No. If
But
you want to hear the story about the shiny head, go back and listen to, I think it was episode 3.
the coconut oil incident.
Yes, not baby oil. It had nothing to do with P. Diddy.
No.
Diddy didn't do nothing to me. It's the other people I feel sorry for. But again, that's it. That's like the train of thought. I just bugged off on a tangent.
It is. But back on to where we want to take it. We want to take this as far as we can.
Yeah. I mean,
We
if
want to
there
get
is-
these subjects and these topics that people are ashamed of and scared to talk about. We want to get them out there.
Yeah.
I'm not scared to say it.
No.
I'll say words that'll get us cancelled. And then I'll argue with the ones that want to fucking cancel us.
Just because you need something to do.
Yeah.
But if there is anyone who's listening and you either want to ask us a question, feel free.
Drop us an idea for a show or a mini episode.
Yeah. I mean, we could even get you on with us. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're not local to us. We've got ways to be able to like collaborate, as it says on the recording studio equipment.
But that's it. You don't have to meet up with us. You don't have to be nearby.
No.
We can even just like Zoom you.
Yeah.
Have a
And-
chat like that if you want.
If the time zones are weird, we've got kids. We'll be up early.
Or late.
Yeah.
But this is just where we want this whole venture for us. It's like we can't work. I can't work. I can't get back to work. And it kills me not being able to work because I don't have that structure.
And I can't work because if you have one of your bad flares, like you did when you were stood at the top of the stairs and went really dizzy and nearly fell down them, and you're in on your own.
Yep. That's the kids being left at school.
Mm-hmm. But still, that's something that we'll get into talking about in a different episode. I think I've waffled on long enough here.
But just put it out there.
Share it.
Don't be afraid to admit that you listen to it or you have listened to it. Because even if you didn't like it, comment. Comment on where you listened and we'll find that comment and we'll reply.
Yeah.
And if you're telling us we're shit, we'll say thank you very much.
Yeah.
But just drop that comment. Send that message. That idea you might have, that thing you think would be funny for us to talk about or is really serious and sad, and we'll talk about sad.
Yeah.
We've gone through lots of sad.
Yeah.
Life's life. So why not just talk about the things that people are scared of? If you don't know anyone else who'll talk about it, then just join us.
Thank you very much for joining us this week in this mini episode. We will see you again on Friday for our full episode, and we will be dropping another mini episode next week, so keep your eyes out. Again, if you do have any questions for us, get in touch with us on our socials, mainly TikTok. That's where you'll find all of our updates, and we'll see you again soon. See you later.